What's up, guys? Making a follow-up video. This will probably be my final video about the catechism process. Opted to sit outside because it's actually nice out finally. And I wanted to just tie up some loose ends for anyone that's interested in looking into orthodoxy and like what that catechism process looks like. So at my church, the expectation is that you're a part of this process for 8 to 12 months. I got in early in September, and so I'm coming up on 8 months by the time Pascha rolls around. And I know that expectation varies from church to church. I've heard that some row core churches have you do it for 2 years. I don't know, but I will have been in it for 8 months, and it's been an amazing process. The format is essentially like I'll sit down in this classroom, and it's once a week after Paracleses. I go to a Greek Orthodox church, so Paracleses is the Wednesday night service directed towards the Holy Virgin Mary, and after that service, we'll go into this classroom. There's, I would say, at a given time, there's probably like 40 of us, and then there's another maybe 40, 50 that are online, and there is a soon-to-be priest. He's in seminary right now, and he's actually being ordained pretty soon. But he Zoom calls in from his seminary, and he will have a PowerPoint, lead us in a particular topic. Like for example, most recently we had a PowerPoint presentation on the sacraments, and then he opens it up to Q&A for like an additional 20, 25, 30 minutes. And what's awesome is these questions don't actually have to pertain exactly to the PowerPoint, because a lot of the times, you'll think of one thing that, his PowerPoint may have sparked a thought, and that'll lead you to another topic and another, and then you wind up at some question that might seem unrelated to everyone else, but he's open to answering all sorts of questions, which has been really great for my faith, because, in my previous couple churches that I attended, there would be times where I would just feel discouraged from asking questions because I know the church leader wouldn't have an answer, and it was like finding the holes in their theology essentially would be discouraging to me. I'd ask a question they'd have no response to, or they'd try and like explain it away and it wouldn't really make sense, and it would just leave me feeling like, I don't really know how strong my faith is, and so I would just eventually kind of stop asking them. But since being able to ask questions as part of the catechism process and like knowing that they have a sound answer for essentially every topic, it's been awesome, and I really feel like my faith has been solidified. And even when there isn't an answer, like for example, I remember I was prying about the filioque and how that impairs the Trinity, and it reached a point where I was just question after question. The guy that leads our class, he was like, hey, like, the Trinity is something that's beyond human comprehension, and it's not something that the Orthodox Church is going to try and like explain away or get into the nitty-gritty details. Like, it is a mystery, and they leave it at that. And I think that's really cool that they're transparent enough to say it outright, rather than try and come up with analogies and things that probably are inaccurate or borderline heretical. And another fruit of this process is I'm at church 2 to 3 times a week with the same group of people, and so I've grown some very close relationships and made some awesome friends, which has been amazing. Like genuine, very strong friendships that supersede any sort of like transaction or like these people just care about me and I care about them, and it's been awesome. Like I'll talk to them about something that's going on in my life, and a few weeks later they'll reach out to me and ask how that went, or like normally folks don't remember that sort of thing, and I'm not even good at doing that myself. So I'm just blessed to be around good people and for the relationships that this has brought. Yeah, man, essentially for any of you guys that are interested in orthodoxy, I would encourage you to go to your local Orthodox parish and ask what the catechism process looks like there, and just jump in and get your feet wet. This is the sort of thing where they want you to have a holistic overview of what the faith is like. They want you to know what living this faith out is going to look like down the road, rather than just like, hey, accept Christ now, and then you'll kind of like figure all that out down the road. They want you to understand what you're getting yourself into from the get-go. And so you don't have to be If you find out, oh, maybe this isn't for me, or like you're finding issues with it, which, I mean, I believe this is the truth, so I stuck it out. But, you know, there shouldn't be this pressure of like, oh my gosh, this is a huge commitment, I have to do X, Y, and Z. I think like the more you learn, the more enticed you will be, and the more of like a desire you'll have to return. And that's why I think this format's so great. I didn't feel pressured at all to like, hey, this is our way of life. You know, we're gonna receive you in a week. Or like, you know, with some Protestant churches, it's like the membership process. And they're like, hey, before you can get plugged into a Bible study and actually meet anyone, you need to be a member and like be tithing here. This format has been incredible. Yeah, I would just encourage y'all to get your feet wet and just do it. It took me like 2-3 months to actually start after I'd learned about it. And I regret not doing it earlier. Of course, the AC kicks off mid-conversation. All right, we're posted up in the garage. But yeah, no, I would just encourage y'all to jump in head first and just start. It's the same deal with like, for me, it was like asking for the intercession of saints and the Theotokos. I was like, how do I get used to this? How do I do this? And it just took doing it before I understood it. And sometimes it just takes an experience to get you to start connecting dots and understanding things. And I feel like it's the same deal with the catechism process. If you're curious about it, just go attend a couple of the catechism classes at your local parish, and hopefully you have a experience that was as good as mine, and I'm sure it'll lead to a lot of spiritual development. But yeah, I'll still continue to make content. I have a few video ideas that involve other folks, so it's not really as easy to just set up my tripod and sit down and start talking, but expect more content here in the near future. And I appreciate you guys for tuning in and being a part of this process. Overall, like, the Orthodox faith is something that has been like my main focus for the past 2/3 of a year, almost an entire year. I've kind of delved into this, and again, it's brought me some great friendships. It's solidified my faith. Obviously, I'll be learning until I'm dead. I don't think there's ever going to be a point where I'm like, yeah, I'm done. But there's just so much to absorb, and yeah, man, again, it's just solidified my faith. I went from this like whimsical, like, is this a conviction? Is God talking to me right now? To like, I just do what I have to do, and I'm confident in the ways in which he communicates with me. And I'm not like, there's just a lot more trust. I guess that's what I'm trying to get at. I trust in his plan more with my life. And I've seen things just come to fruition even in the past couple months where, I didn't think I'd have emotional or mental stability or confidence in certain things. And I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna give this to you. And yeah, I'm just not questioning, I guess. But yeah, thank y'all for tuning in, and I appreciate your guys' engagement with my videos. Leave some video ideas for me down below if y'all have any specific topics that you want me to touch on. Thank y'all.